My name is Karen O'Donnell O'Connor and I'm the manager here at the Southill Hub. The Southill Hub is a community centre for the entirety of the community here in Southill, covering the 4 parks. And we operate on the basis of supporting Southill to be a great place to grow up and to grow old. Within that, we operate a number of different services here at the centre. We have a community cafe, which is the first one of its kind in the city. When we opened in 2007, we were the very first community cafe in Limerick. And that offers high quality, low cost food to people within the community and also a space to socialise with your neighbours. We also operate a sports hall here, which is obviously used for sports, but also used for social functions like community bingo, tea dances, Halloween discos, things like that. And we operate training rooms here. We operate a space for other organisations such as the after schools here in the locality to work out of as well. Key to our work here at the Southill Hub is the Youth Work and Family Support Programme, where we work with over 120 young people in the community on a weekly basis here at the Hub. And that allows us to work directly with young people, but also in terms of our family support programme, we work with the families, the broader families of young people as well, to ensure a much better outcome for the young people who are coming to club here and availing of our services. I suppose the beauty of having that connection with young people and with the families is it allows us to respond to needs as they arise. And that really was the genesis for the Targeted Youth Employability Programme, arising out of a need identified by the young people themselves, their families and the youth workers here at the Southill Hub.
Hi, my name is Susie Cronin and I am the Youth Work Team Lead here in the Southill Hub. I suppose the reason we identified the need for this project was that post-COVID, we noticed that many young people were not engaged in education, employment or training, and there was huge need to support those young people, and the UBU team were just under pressure to try and deliver on that. So when the Targeted Youth Employability Support Initiative funding became available, we thought it was the perfect fit for our project. We applied in 2021 and established the project in 2022. It was a huge success. I suppose the reason for continuing with that project was that the young people that we supported had some fantastic benefits, and we felt that there was a need to continue to deliver on those and to target more young people as the project grew. In 2022, we secured funding through the local ETBs, which was a huge benefit for the project as well. I suppose part of that then was to document and conduct research based on the outcomes that we had, and I suppose the delivery method of the project. So that was why we asked Sinead to conduct the research on our behalf, which was really to track the outcomes and the progression of the project throughout its first year in 2022, where we had huge success for the young people at varying different levels. And we watched them, I suppose, engage in many different things, from employment, further education and training opportunities. And then a lot of them continued to engage throughout year 2 and also partially up until now. So we're all delighted with that.
My name's John, I'm the Youth Employability Worker at the Southill Hub. I suppose the first process with the programme was to build relationships with young people. A lot of them become very disillusioned with education, with employment, and probably don't know where they're going to start. So if we're asking them to put themselves out there and, essentially set them up for fallbacks and failures along the line, we need to spend a lot of time kind of building that trust and relationship with them. And it hit me when I first started, one of the young people, the question they said to me was, how long are you going to be here for? And straight away that told me their mindset that they have for things that appear in the community, that often, they're there for a while and then they're gone. So we need to do a lot of work to kind of rebuild that trust. Collaboration was a big part of that. So we already had a steering group set up before I arrived, and they were able to link me in immediately with ETBs, with different services within the city. There is a lot of stuff available to young people in the city, but it's very hard to navigate through. Even for myself, I found it difficult to see exactly what different services would provide for a young person. So if you're someone who's maybe not used to accessing that information or using a laptop or things like that, then there's a lot for you to consider when you're looking up that. We also had a citywide employment group. Now, part of that group was provided us links with the City Council, with various employers, with the ETBs, with also the Department of Social Protection. And that just meant if we had any questions or any barriers that we're facing with young people, we would have someone that we could go to get a quick answer instead of waiting for a long time or trying to go through an email. Part of that, then, we were able to deliver a jobs fair to this community, which was the first one that had been here in as long as anyone could remember. The approach that we tried to have with the young people was that they would take the lead on a lot of the stuff, depending on where their start point was, because a lot of people in this community would be the first time that anyone in their family was trying to access education. So there'd be a lot of generational unemployment. There'd be young people who would have suffered a lot of trauma, especially off the back of COVID, where they dropped out of school and they become very disillusioned with education. So we had to meet with the people who were providing these services so that we could introduce a young person to an individual rather than a service itself. We could kind of lead them into a location. We could sit down with them, we could have a chat with them, with the service providers, so that they were able to best provide for that young person. I think it's very difficult to measure the progress that young people have made over the period of the project. I think that's because they all start in such a different position, and actually what might seem like a small achievement for someone on the outside, actually for that individual, it could be massive. Just turning up regularly to meet appointments, or accessing a short course, that could be a big thing for him. Whereas someone else might be in third level education doing a degree, or someone else might be in full-time employment, but they've maybe not had to travel as far along the way. I think the only thing we can say is that of all the people that have engaged in the programme, I don't think there's anyone who's worse off for having come along, and a lot of them have made great strides towards their own futures.
Hi, my name is Cora Foley and I'm a youth officer with the Limerick and Clare Education and Training Board. I suppose as part of the Targeted Youth Employability Programme, a key element to it was the development of a steering group. And that steering group had partners from our community, voluntary and statutory sectors, including Paul Partnership, the Local Employment Service, the LEDP, and other partners then as we needed them. A key element of it was to support, I suppose, the project, but also to support the young people when they started their employment journey. So that they would have additional supports from the steering group, and that in turn then strengthened the project. So one of the key features of the Targeted Youth Employability Programme was that it was integrated into the UBU project, which is in the Southill hub. And I suppose the major element of that is it's based on youth work principles, and it works with young people where they're at. And that's a key element of the Targeted Youth Employability Programme. So the fact the integration piece was really important, and we know that it's been really successful because of that.
Well, we come over in Younger, over here at Southill Hub, and me and a few of the boys meet up over here in Younger and all, do the activities, go on summer camps and stuff like that. Because to meet new people and say like to help with doing CVs and all, and help with interviews and see if I'm like capable of doing an interview and stuff like that.
I've been coming to the Southill Hub for years, since about 9 years of age. I really came to this thing because there was not any really else around here, and I came to meet new friends. At the time, I didn't have a job, and I wanted someone to help me out with my CV and see what I could do, and the barroom course and a lot of stuff.
I went over abroad to Spain, worked over there for the summer, and John fully prepared me to go over there and make sure I was confident going over there and that I was capable of going over there and working.
My greatest achievements would be, there's plenty. The one that stands out to me would be the Garda Youth Award, the time we did the film, and getting a full-time job out of her.